Dr. Sato.
Hi, this is Dr. Sato. Yes, today we're gonna talk about the sleep pattern. I want to introduce you something related to athletic population, but also this one will be interesting topic for the general population as well.
OK， 好，大家好，我们今天又来到我们每周的直播时间。那今天Dr. Sato一样在美国跟我们远端连线。那今天我们要讲的主题是要讲有关睡眠的问题。
Okay, so I have a topic as the sleep is the best recovery strategy. And again, this is not only for athletic population, but this is so important for body to be able to recover for the next day's high quality training.
那我们今天要讲的主题是睡眠其实是对我们的恢复有帮助的。那这方面不只是针对于运动员，对于一般的族群也是非常重要的。
Yeah, so the funny part is I'm gonna talk about the sleep and how good quality of sleep helps. And right now in Tennessee time, it's almost midnight. So maybe it's good timing after I talk, then I can go to bed.
好，那Dr. Sato现在在美国田纳西州那边已经是接近半夜，那他就是说刚好也借由这次讲完之后，他就可以马上利用刚刚讲的内容，然后作为他等一下睡觉的时候的，就是来源这样子。
So let's go to the topic here. And the first one, I want to talk about the recovery as an overall strategy. So the recovery is very important in terms of improving the physical capability. Without being able to improve your physical capability, of course the performance is not going to improve.
好，那这边这个图就讲到呢，就是我们要怎么你的恢复要怎么会怎么影响到你的身体的表现？那在经过你一整天的训练之后呢，你身体会难免出现一些受损的地方。那借由你的恢复，可以让你的运动表现在隔一天能够再回到更好的位置，就是你有进步的地方。那如果你有一个不好的恢复状态的话，那你的运动表现可能会有恶化的情况。
And I think the reason why a lot of people are interested in this topic about the sleep quality is because a lot of people suffer from sleep disorder, meaning that maybe it's a very short period of time they can sleep or they cannot sleep at all. So a lot of different sleep disorder is happening. It doesn't matter what age, what kind of sports. I think this is kind of universal problem.
那Dr. Sato 提到呢，失眠是现在普遍，不管你的年纪是多大，或者是你是什么族群，你是一般人或是运动员，那失眠这个议题现在是对于大家都是非常重要的，也是非常普遍的。
And I believe a lot of people know that the sleep is one of the best recovery strategy for athletic population, but also a lot of people know that the disturbance of the sleep, okay? We have many different kind of reasons, okay? Talking about the stress, I think it's the number one deal, but also using like cell phone all night long, especially even for younger kids, not only the adults, this one is also the major disturbance.
那大家可能都知道说，您睡眠的状况会影响到你恢复的状况。那有哪些因子、有哪些因素会影响到你的睡眠呢？那第一个，Dr. Sato 就讲到，可能是你的压力可能会导致您睡眠上面的困难，你有失眠状况。然后再来第二个，就有可能是您长期使用3C 产品，尤其是在睡前你一直滑手机的话，那你接下来也会可能很难入睡。
So I want to introduce you some of the strategy, and then hopefully it becomes one of the options for solution to be able to change the pattern of the sleep for many people today.
好，那接下来Dr. Sato就会提到一些解决的方法，要怎么去改善，或者是去帮助我们进入更好的睡眠，让我们有更好的恢复。 那刚才除了前面2点提到的压力跟使用3C 产品之外，您如果有在吃药，或者是你在睡前有吃一些比较难以消化、负荷比较高的食物，或者是你有饮用咖啡因的话，那这3点也会影响到您的睡眠。
So let's talk about this graph here. Okay. So everyone has a different sleep pattern. Okay. We all know that the sleep is very effective for recovery, but the idea behind it is how much is too less or how much is too much. Okay. People talk about the total sleep. How about the quality of those sleep?
好，那每个人都会有不同的睡眠的形态。那我们大家都知道，睡眠对我们的帮助，优点就是它可以帮助恢复。那它是一个非常有效率帮助恢复的方式。但是大家比较不知道的是，我们要睡多少、多长比较好，或是多短会太不好。那接下来就是我们睡眠品质要如何去强调，那才会帮助我们的睡眠的部分。
So this is actually the study we did about 2012, okay, long time ago, almost 10 years ago, okay. So what we did was we had 2 different types of mattress to sleep with. The blue one is like a not really good quality mattress, and then the red is actually a really high quality mattress to sleep in.
刚才提到的睡眠品质的部分也会影响到我们的睡眠。那当然，Sato 这边下面放了一篇2012年所做的研究。那他们是在探讨说，用比较不好、品质比较差一点点的床垫，那分别是在蓝色这个长条形中，那红色的这个长条图是比较等级比较高的床垫。那他们去看说，他们在经由从第1天到第7天去侦测他们睡眠品质的状况，比较这2个的差别。
Okay, so when you actually look at those graphs, you can tell the red one is higher, and then this actually indicates how much deep sleep time you have within the sleep. So from day 1 to day 7, we measured using a sleep tracker to see how much deep sleep and then the light sleep quality. And then you can see that the red is actually higher percentage, means that the high quality mattress provides better sleep quality.
OK， 那这个研究呢，就是利用分别在不同的床垫上，一个蓝色长条图就是比较品质比较差的，然后红色长条图就是品质比较好的床垫，然后就有一些侦测的仪器去侦测说这7天里面他们的睡眠品质是怎么样。那我们也可以很明显的看到，除了第3天它蓝色的长条图就是品质比较不好的床垫是熟睡的比例比较高之外，其他1、2、4、5、6、7天使用品质比较好的床垫，都会让你在深层睡眠上面比较有帮助。
So from this kind of study, we know that the deep sleep percentage is a lot higher when the mattress quality is better. So for example, if you go to university and then live in a college dorm, I used to stay in a college dorm too. The mattress is not good. Okay, chances are your deep sleep quality might not be that good, just like comparing the quality of the mattress.
那待会稍微讲到说，所以这个图就可以很明显看到，你使用比较好的床垫是可以帮你增加深度睡眠的百分比的。那大哥 Sato 提到说，他常常去大学的体育馆里面，可能需要去做研究或是其他任务之类的，他常常需要睡在大学的体育馆里面。那体育馆里面的床垫通常都是可能比较不好的。那这样子它就会导致可能那几天晚上，大概Sato深层睡眠的时间相对来讲就是比较少的，所以也会影响到你的睡眠品质。
Okay, and then let's go to the next slide. So the next slide is actually all in Japanese, and sorry for this because I can understand this very well. And this book is actually written by Dr. Nishino. He works at Stanford University and study about the sleep pattern. So this book is actually written also in Chinese. So some of you actually might have seen his name, okay, in Chinese.
好，那接下来这个 PPT 呢，主要是它都是日文的。那大家稍后就要就是要来解释一下这边 PPT 主要在讲什么。那这个研究是一个日本的学者，他是在美国史丹佛大学专门做对于睡眠的研究。那他其实也有出一本中文有关于睡眠的书，所以有些人可能有看过这个学者所写的书过。
The part I like about his book here, I think this image here is very easy to understand how people actually start to fall asleep. So I want to explain about this graph very in detail, man.
好，那接下来Dr. Sato要针对这个图来讲说，我们人在一天当中，您的体温会是怎么样的变化，还有您的体温要怎么去影响到您的睡眠品质。
Okay, so there's two different temperature measurement. Okay, one is from the internal body temperature. Okay, the second one is from the skin temperature. Okay, when human beings start to fall asleep or feel sleepy, the internal body temperature and then the skin temperature gets closer. That's when the human body starts to feel very sleepy.
好，那这边主要有测量2种不同的温度。那第一个温度就是你体内比较核心深层的体温，然后第二个，刚才核心深层体温是黑色这条线，然后第二个你皮肤表面的体温是蓝色这条线。那Dr. Sato 提到说，随着你的核心深层的体温慢慢下降，那您的皮肤的体温慢慢上升，也就是它们这2个的体温越来越靠近的时候，就是人类会开始想要产生睡意的时候。
So if that's the case, okay, if those two temperatures have to get closer to feel sleepy, right before you go to bed, if you eat something, okay, your internal body temperature actually go up, try to digest it, right? So your internal body temperature stay up, okay? That means that you don't actually feel sleepy, okay? So this is actually a problem for eating something late at nighttime.
好，那这边Dr. Sato 就要讲到说呢，那若您在睡前您吃一些东西的话，就是或者是你习惯在睡前吃东西的话，那它会去影响到您深层体温的这部分，也就是因为身体需要做一些消化的功能，所以它深层的体温会需要不会像一般来讲会慢慢下降，而是你在吃东西的时候，因为消化的关系，你的体温会上升。那么你的体温上升，但是你的皮肤温度不变的情况下，这2个的差距就会拉大。那这可能就不会使你产生睡意，就会影响到你的睡眠。
Okay. So a lot of people, especially the Taiwanese people, I hear this a lot that the eating at the late night gain weight. Okay, I hear this a lot, but it's actually, it might not be that true. But the real truth about eating at the late at nighttime actually mess up your body temperature sequence.
那在台湾呢，当然Sato就提到说，很多人都会有吃宵夜的习惯。那不过对于吃宵夜这个想法，多半是大家会觉得说你在睡前吃宵夜可能会让你的体重上升。但是Dr. Sato 提到说呢，这个对于体重上升不一定是完全正确的。但是它确实会影响到你的睡眠，因为你无法在你马上吃完东西之后就可以马上立即进入很想睡的阶段，所以会接着影响到你的睡眠等一些身体代谢的机制。
Okay, so let's go to the next slide, talking about the deep sleep to near awake in this slide.
好，那 接下来这张 PPT 呢，主要是讲说，你在进入睡眠到醒来的过程中，你的睡眠的曲线、睡眠的周期是长什么样子的。
And then I saw one of the questions actually just popped up on the questions. What is considered to be deep sleep? The deep sleep is actually considered to be no movement in the body. When you're actually in the deep sleep, your body physically don't move. So that's considered to be in a deep sleep zone. And then what's considered to be the light sleep is when your body kind of starts moving even when you're in sleep.
OK， 那接下来Sato就是曾经被问到一个问题说，那怎么去判断这个人是在一个深层的睡眠或是比较浅层的睡眠？那他就提到说，如果你在深层的睡眠的话，你的身体就是你不会有任何就是会有任何产生动作的情况。那如果你是在比较浅层的睡眠的话，你可能就会开始出现一些滚动等情形。
So this sequence, okay, is a sequence of how you actually fall asleep to reach the deep sleep, and then you have this REM pattern, okay, and then this pattern is pretty much the same for everyone, okay, that everyone have a somewhat similar pattern of going up and down when you're sleeping.
好，那这个睡眠呢，其实每一个人的，就是它的顺序是差不多的，就是你会在刚开始睡着的时候，你会先慢慢的进入一个深层睡眠，然后接下来有一个高峰起来，然后接下来再进入深层睡眠，然后再高峰起来。那每个人在这个的步骤会是相似的。
So what's different between the people is not about the sequence, but also it's how many times people have this cycle. Okay, that's considered to be more genetic and then also the habit. Okay, difference. So some people might have a lot of wave. Okay, some people might have 6 or 7 different patterns. Some people might only have a sleep patterns to wake up. Okay, so this is again about the genetic and then also from your daily habit. Okay.
好，那前面提到每个人的睡眠的就是这个图表的它的顺序会是差不多长这个图形的，但是在人与人之间会有哪些不一样的地方呢？有些人他会出现很多个高峰，就有可能假设大家都是睡6个小时，那有些人他可能会出现3个高峰而已，就是它的图形是比较缓的，然后再有些人可能会出现斜率比较高，就是会出现可能有6个高峰之类的。那当然，他有提到说呢，这可能由于一些基因的关系，或是你生活习惯的关系所导致这些人与人之间的差异。
Okay. Then let's go to the next slide, and then this is from one of the study as well, talking about how sleep loss from the acute and then the chronic influence your physical performance.
好，那接下来这张 PPT 也是出自于一个研究，那它是要探讨说失眠对于您立即性的影响，或是对于您长期失眠所造成会有哪些方面的影响。
So when you separate the acute and chronic, okay, it has different influence to the body. Okay, for example, if you look at the acute side, okay, it'll probably influence the metabolism, and then it'll influence the inflammation, okay, inflammation part. So you have more. Let's say that only one night you didn't sleep very well. Okay, chances are it kind of mess up your routine a little bit. Okay, but it doesn't really mess up your overall performance itself. Just to mess up your routine.
好，那我们先看到比较急性的这块，就是如果您在今天晚上有失眠的状况，那隔天会影响到你什么？第一个就是会影响到你的代谢部分，你的胰岛素的阻抗率可能会上升，那接下来可能会影响到你身体的一些发炎反应的产生。那但是您在这就是比较急性的急性失眠的状况下，它其实不太会影响到你太多的运动表现的部分。
Okay. If you think about chronic, okay, if you have a sleep loss every night, okay, then it becomes more problem, okay? It influences your central nervous system function, okay, and then also the whole body's nervous system also influence in a negative way, okay? So yeah, if it's only one night of sleep loss, it might not be that much negative as compared to the chronic all the time of sleep loss.
那刚才提到，您如果是比较立即性、比较急性的失眠的话，它可能不会影响到那么多的运动表现。但现在反过来，如果你是比较长期有失眠的状况，那你可能会影响到的因子就非常多。那包括刚才讲的代谢，还有中枢神经系统也会受到影响，以及内分泌系统也会受到影响，以及刚才讲的发炎现象，还有甚至你的自主神经系统也会受到影响。所以有这么多影响的情况下，它就会大大的影响你的运动表现。
Yeah, so my recommendation is if it's only one night, I don't usually worry about it, especially like right before the event, like one night before the event. You know, a lot of coaches say, oh, you have to get a good night's sleep, okay? It's impossible from the psychological standpoint because people are nervous, right? But only one night of sleep loss doesn't affect so much, okay? What's important is 1 week before the competition, if you have a very good night's sleep, working towards to the competition night, okay, competition day, I think it's okay.
好，那当然是有提到说呢，如果有人跟他说他可能就是比赛的前一天有失眠的现象，他其实不会太担心，因为这个在心理学的角度来讲，这是非常难避免的，因为选手都会紧张，尤其是在比赛的前一天。但是如果你在比赛的前可能很长的一段时间你都有失眠的情况，那这个可能就是需要多注意的地方。
Okay, so let's go to the next slide. And then again, I'm not going to go through all these studies, but just by looking at the sleep studies in the recent years, I found a lot of studies talking about how sleep actually helps to recover the body, even from the junior level athletes to the top level athletes. It's showing all across from these kind of research.
好，那这里有非常多的 paper， 那当然 Sato 不会一一的把它讲出来。那不过这些都是他读过的 paper， 那他们都是在探讨说睡眠对于恢复会有什么样的影响。那族群有可能是从青少年的运动员，一直到职业等级的运动员。那所有的研究都显示说，睡眠会大大的影响你的恢复状况。
So let's go to the next slide to talk about the most important part. So this is the kind of solution to explanation about the sleep pattern.
好，那接下来这张 PPT 是 Dr. Sato 认为最重要的一部分，就是我们要如何去调整我们的作息，或是做哪些改善，能够帮助你有更好的睡眠品质。
Okay, so some people might agree with me that a lot of research information is to look for ideal situation. This is the best way to do this. But if you really think about the realistic approach, okay, it's not easy to be in the idealistic because the realistic is so different from idea, right? So we have to be very consistent with realistic approach.
OK， 那虽然很多研究都是以比较理想化的层面去探讨睡眠对恢复这方面的影响，但是其实现实生活中我们很难去接近，就是我们很难把每一个晚上的睡眠都把它调成我们理想中的睡眠状态，所以我们要如何去调试我们现实中，或者是去怎么适应我们现实中的生活状况？那这些生活状况要怎么去影响到你的睡眠品质？
So the important part is everybody's sleep time, okay, may be different, which is okay, but a lot of people go to bed in different times. That's kind of realistic. Some days you go to bed 10 p.m., some day 12 a.m., some day 2 a.m. But if you wake up at the same time every morning, okay, chances are your routine is going to be very consistent. But if you sleep different time, you wake up at different time, that mess up your whole body routine. Okay, so that's the one important part, to wake up right around the same time, no matter what time you go to bed.
好，那第一点这边，Dr. Sato 要讲到的是说，这在我们现实层面上，我们不可能就是每天晚上都在同一个时间点睡觉。那我们有可能今天是10点睡，那有可能是12点睡，或甚至有些人会到2点睡。但是 Dr. Sato 认为最重要的部分就是，不管你是几点睡，你都要在同一时间起床，而不是因为你比较早睡你就比较早起，比较晚睡就是比较晚起。那你都在同一时间起床的话，不管你是几点睡，那它会帮助你长期身体会维持一个比较规律的部分。
Okay. And then the second portion is to kind of know your pattern, right? Know your body, know your pattern on what kind of stuff makes you sleepy. Okay. So if you can kind of know what kind of routine makes you sleepy, then you can be very consistent. When you actually go to bed, you can fall asleep right away, even though your bedtime might be different. Okay, 10 p.m., 12 a.m., whatever. But if you know your pattern and in sequence, you can fall asleep right away. That's an important part too.
好，然后接下来第二点就是，你需要了解到说怎么样的步骤或者是怎么样的顺序，在你睡觉之前能够帮助你等一下就可以进入一个很快的睡眠品质或是良好的睡眠。那不管你今天是几点睡，如果你可以知道什么样的步骤或是什么样的方法可以让你很快入睡的话，你维持这个每天该有的顺序、该有的步骤，那接下来你就会进入到每天都可以维持一个很良好的睡眠品质。
Okay, let's go to the last slide here on another important part to talk about what works in a realistic way. Okay, I have first one example as the room temperature versus your bed temperature. Okay, if the room is too hot or too cold, and then again that's gonna mess up your skin temperature, right? And then it's hard to fall asleep.
好，那接下来最后一篇这个 PPT 也是非常重要，就是我们现实中有可能会产生哪些现象，或是我们需要在现实中去改善哪些现象，可以帮助我们的睡眠呢？那第一个这边就提到说是你房间的温度，或甚至是你床的温度。那我们在前面的 PPT 有讲到说，当你的表面的温度跟你的核心的温度越来越接近的时候，就是你比较容易入睡的时候。所以如何去控制你的房间的温度以及你床的温度，让它能够比较靠近你身体深层核心的温度，这样才能够帮助你进入一个很好的睡眠。
So I like the strategy of eating dinner relatively early, okay, and then before you go to bed, maybe about 1 hour before you go to bed, and then I take like a really quick hot shower. Okay, that way, if I eat the dinner early, then my internal body temperature start to go down, and then I take a hot shower to get the skin temperature to go up. So the internal body temperature and skin temperature gets closer together. So after the shower, then I can probably fall asleep much better chance than playing on the cell phone for 3-4 hours.
好，那第二点这边Dr. Sato 主要是要讲到的是如何去控制你的洗澡的时间，还有你晚餐的时间。那先讲到晚餐时间这部分，就是刚刚前面有提到，如果你在比较早一点吃晚餐的话，就是距离你睡觉的时候长一点的时间以前吃晚餐，你的消化系统就不会在你睡觉的时候出来作用，那你深层的核心温度也可以在你即将要入睡的时候进入一个比较低的温度。好，那接下来就要讲到表面温度的部分。那Dr. Sato 提到说，他可能会在训练完之后会先做洗澡一个动作，但是在睡前呢，他可能会很快的帮自己冲一个热水澡，让自己的表面温度提升上来。那当你的深层的核心温度跟你表面的温度接近的时候，就是你比较好入睡的时候。
And then another part it's very important that a lot of peak force athletes do is taking a resting heart rate when they wake up. Okay, it's a really good indication of how much body is recovered. So if your sleep time is very short, chances are when you take the resting heart rate first thing in the morning, your heart rate might be high. That means that your body is not very well recovered. So it's really important to have the heart rate as a good measurement tool to evaluate your sleep quality.
好，那最后一点，这边是提到说你可以在睡醒的时候去测量您休息时的心跳。那这个在我们这边 P4 这边很多运动员都会有做这样的动作，那就是我们可以借由您睡醒所测量出的休息时的心率，来知道说您就是那个晚上您的睡眠品质怎么样。如果你在一个可能比较短的睡眠时间之后，您所测出来的休息的心跳比较高的话，就代表说你可能在那个晚上你没有得到足够的休息，那你就可以去监测你每个晚上你的休息的心跳。那这个地方是要跟自己比，监测你每个晚上你的心跳的起伏，或是你的比较起来是怎么样，那你就可以去了解到说你那个晚上的睡眠品质怎么样，那要怎么在之后去调整你的睡眠的时间或是情况，来去达到维持一样的休息时的心跳的部分。
Okay, so let's summarize the idea again for this, because this is the important part, that the sleep pattern is very different depending on the people with different type of stress. The number one message is you have to have a routine no matter what it is. Okay, either go to bed in the same time, which is gonna be very difficult, I know that. Okay, but waking up same time gives you a really good routine throughout the day. You know, some kids, if you have an off day, I know some kids sleep through like 12 p.m. like until afternoon. Okay, that's gonna mess up the whole routine for the next week, right? So I understand that the sleeping late is a luxury time for the kids, but at the same time, a lot of research showing that the messing up the routine from this kind of stuff irregulates the pattern for sleeping days.
好，那我们就稍微总结一下今天所要讲的重点。那第一个就是我们要保持一个很规律、很良好的睡眠的顺序跟步骤。接下来就是不管你几点睡觉，你都要尽量维持在同一时间可以起床。那很多青少年的小孩，或甚至很多人都会在6日的时候可能比较晚睡，那他们就会可能到中午12点或是更晚时候才起来，那这可能就会打乱你原本所可以产生规律的地方，那就是你可能会接下来影响到你下个礼拜你的睡眠周期的部分。
Okay, and then on our people's Facebook and then also on the YouTube link, we have another sleep doctor talking about sleep disorder. I believe it's very helpful for viewers to listen as well. So we can post this and then let the viewers know about the general population for the sleep disorder.
好，那在我们的脸书社团之后也会有一个有一个就是我们有跟一个睡眠学校合作，那个主要在研究睡眠这个医师呢，也会在告诉大家说要怎么样在青少年或是成人你要维持什么样的睡眠的习惯，会帮助你的睡眠能够有更良好的作用。那之后如果有机会，我们会发布在我们的脸书社团上面。
Interesting topic to discuss after next week, and you know, we're always happy to have any questions and be able to answer for the audience.
好，那我们也非常欢迎大家，就是之后可以提出相关的问题，那我们也会非常乐意为大家解答。好，那我们直播就到这边，那就谢谢大家的收看。